Shivers, a curious little kitten, was home alone for the first time. Her owners had left for a dinner party, and she was excited to have the house to herself. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the rooms, Whiskers began to feel a creeping sense of unease. At first, she tried to distract herself by chasing the laser pointer she loved so much. But as the darkness deepened, the red seemed to take on a life of its own, darting around the room with an otherworldly speed. Whiskers' ears perked up as she heard a faint creaking sound coming from upstairs. She froze, her tail twitching nervously. The creaking grew louder, and Whiskers could sense someone, or something, moving around above her. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died, plunging the house into darkness. Whiskers let out a terrified meow as she heard footsteps coming from the stairs. They were light, almost ethereal, but they seemed to be getting closer and closer. As the footsteps reached the bottom of the stairs, Whiskers saw a faint, glowing figure standing in the doorway. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light, and Whiskers could feel its gaze upon her. The kitten tried to run, but her paws seemed rooted to the spot. The ghostly figure began to move closer, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable horror. Just as all hope seemed lost, Whiskers remembered the can of tuna her owners had left on the kitchen counter. With a surge of courage, she darted towards the kitchen, the ghostly figure mere inches behind. As she reached the counter, Whiskers knocked over the can, and the tuna spilled out onto the floor. The ghostly figure let out a blood-curdling scream as it slipped on the tuna and fell to the ground. Whiskers took advantage of the distraction to make a run for it, dashing up the stairs and hiding under the bed. She stayed there, trembling with fear, until she heard the sound of her owner's car pulling into the driveway. A sleek black cat was enjoying a cozy night in with her two adorable kittens, Teena and Meena. They were snuggled up together on the couch, watching their favorite cartoon on TV. As the night wore on, the cartoon ended, and a strange, static-filled channel appeared on the screen. Mittens, Teena, and Meena were about to change the channel when a creepy, distorted voice spoke, sending shivers down their spines. "Welcome, little felines, to the show of your worst nightmares." Suddenly, the TV screen flickered and displayed a series of terrifying images: ghostly apparitions, haunted houses, and supernatural creatures. Teena and Meena, sensing their mother's fear, clung to Mittens, meowing pitifully. As the images grew more intense, the ghostly apparitions began to seep out of the TV screen, filling the room with an eerie, otherworldly presence. Mittens, trying to protect her kittens, arched her back and hissed, but the ghosts were relentless. Teena and Meena, paralyzed with fear, watched as the ghosts began to manipulate the TV, creating a vortex of swirling colors and distorted images. The kittens' eyes grew wide as they felt themselves being pulled into the TV, trapped in a living nightmare. Mittens, desperate to save her kittens, launched herself at the TV, but it was too late. The ghosts had already dragged Teena and Meena into the screen. Leaving Mittens alone and helpless, as the night wore on, Mittens was left to face the ghosts alone, her mind consumed by the terrifying images and the fate of her beloved kittens. The TV, now a portal to a dark and malevolent realm, continued to broadcast its eerie signals, haunting Mittens with the memories of that fateful night. The next morning, Mittens' owners found her curled up on the couch, her eyes wide with fear, the TV still broadcasting the distorted images.